Welcome back to the channel, folks. We're here with Devitt Insurance on a Met Police Bikesafe day. Come and find out what the day includes. Right then, folks, welcome. We're doing a Bikesafe day, so we're here at the Bikeshed in London, kindly invited by Devitt Insurance. Thank you very much. So we just had a briefing. Look who we got here. Well, he's in trouble again already. He's been here 2 minutes, he's in trouble.
Got my stuff down. I can't see with my contact lenses.
It hurts your hand writing, doesn't it? Which takes a couple of hours in the morning. And now we're heading out with Gordy there. I'm with Lamb Chops, he's over there. And we're going to be heading out for the day. Filtering through London. And then we're going to be heading out towards fishing fields. So let's do it. Compact in Beijing, Moston. Thank you. It's Tom, the media man. Cheers now. Look at that. Norden 901. That looks a beast, Chops. That looks a beast. Now, Chopsy and I aren't doing a joint vlog on this. We didn't actually realise we'd both be out together. So, if you enjoy my vid, or maybe if you don't and you want something different, head over to Chopsy's channel and check his out. Make sure you give him a subscribe. He's almost at 100k. Deserves it. Cracking channel. So, Bikesafe. What is Bikesafe all about? Well, Bikesafe is it's an attempt by the British police to sort of, you know, get into the biking community and try and teach you a little bit of something called Roadcraft. You might not be aware of what Roadcraft is, but it's like the Bible for police driving and riding. It's a book which teaches bike control, car control, road positioning, everything basically. So it's what all the police driving courses, most of the emergency services, I think, they're all based on Roadcraft, and things like the IAM, ROSPA, they all sort of follow its principles now as well. So what Bikesafe will do is, I think it's about 60 odd quid you pay, and you go out riding with the coppers here. They generally sit behind you and they'll observe your riding, and the idea is that you ride like you normally would. You know, you've got to be fairly sensible. You know, there's no point in you going out and thinking you're on a racetrack. You've got to be fairly sensible. They like you to just ride realistically once you're out in the nationals, and they will try and give you some hints and tips as to maybe how you could better your positioning, your observation, gear selection, everything like that. Now, I am in a fairly unique position in that, you know, from my former life, I am a trained police driver and a police rider. So the way I'm going to do this today, and I am not saying I am the best out there, I am not, by a long way. I make mistakes all the time. You know, I got knocked off, what, 3 times a few years ago in quick succession, so there's plainly issues with my riding. Hopefully I've addressed that, but probably haven't, you never know. But anyway, the take I'm going to do of it today is I'm going to try and give you, not a commentary, but I'm going to try and tell you why I'm doing what I'm doing, and then we'll have a look at Gordy's feedback and see if there's areas that I need to address. Perhaps I'm doing things wrong, or I'm not doing things right. So it'll be interesting to see what his take is on it. So, commuting, filtering in town. In London, a lot of these streets are now 20 mile an hour limits, but good luck if you can get to 20 mile an hour. The temptation when you're coming into London and in cities is you get push bikes, you've got mopeds, you've got other bikers, and they are flying up the middle of the road. I used to do it myself. 99.9% of the time, you'll get away with it. Just takes that one time. You get that all the time, cars pulling out from junctions. So it's all about observation and positioning. Quite interesting, in the briefing you get beforehand, there's a thing called saccadic masking, which was really quite interesting. I'd forgotten all about that. And that is basically, if you think of your eyeball, it's like a camera. Your eyeball is taking like shots all the time. You know, so it's like click, 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 click. And there are little gaps in between those clicks where your brain sort of interpolates all that information that it's getting. So although you think you're looking all the time and you're seeing, you're not. Your brain a lot of the time doesn't register, which is why you get smidsies. Sorry mate, I didn't see you. It's because car drivers a lot of the time, well, just people a lot of the time, they're looking, but the brain won't register that there's a motorbike there. Because we're small and we tend to travel a lot quicker, or certainly it looks like we're travelling quicker. It's interesting, it'll take me on to another topic in a quick second. The brain of the drivers and that, it just doesn't register that you're there. So it is a genuine thing. Sorry mate, I didn't see you. Generally they probably will not see you. The brain just doesn't register us as bikers. It's an interesting thing when you actually see the science behind it. The other thing, I can't remember what it's called, something about, is it looming or something? But it's basically, because we're much smaller, when you see a bike coming at you, straight on, head on, from the distance, because it's so small, it's very hard for the brain to register what speed that bike is doing. And it's literally only till you get to about sort of 25-30 meters away from the person who's watching you that their brain can actually register the speed that you're traveling. And generally by that point it's too late and they'll pull out. The science is really interesting. You know, it's a good 2 hours there that you're having a briefing before, and it can be a little bit death by PowerPoint at times, but there's some very, very interesting points that are brought up in there. And if you've got no experience with the likes of IM and ROSPA and all this sort of stuff, the things about limit points and positioning on the road, you know, they're key. They are absolutely key. Chopsy's on his best behaviour, no wheeling through the town here. I do miss the crack in the old Bill, I've got to say. I don't miss the job in the slightest. Do the Hendon shuffle.
The Hendon shuffle.
Yeah, I just said that. I'll do the Hendon shuffle. For any non-job out there, the Hendon shuffle is as you're approaching, like, to be stationary. Most of us will just pull up and we'll leave it in gear so that we can just pull away nice and quick. You're taught in the old Bill to do the Hendon shuffle, which is as you come up, you know, you're covering the rear brake, you stop with the rear brake. Obviously you're pulling your clutch in because the bike's still in gear. Then you have to change feet, put it into neutral, and then change feet again, cover the back brake, and have your left foot down with the bike sat in neutral. And the idea of that is that if somebody rear ends you whilst you're stationary, if you're in gear, automatically you're going to go forward like that. You're probably going to twist the throttle, you're going to let go of the clutch, and the bike's going to, it could zoom ahead, you know, into another hazard or somebody. It could cause a danger. So the idea is keep it in neutral, and that way your bike's not actually going to go anywhere. The worst you might do is just give a big fistful of throttle, make a lot of noise. And obviously you don't want to be holding the front brake when you're stationary, because if something rear ends you, it's going to put you over the handlebars, whereas if you're covering the rear brake, you're going to drag the back brake with you. No, she's not going to wait for me. Sorry madam, she didn't want to wait. Right, I'll probably have to do a little bit of filtering now then. So I'm just watching up ahead. Directional arrows are all straight ahead, and as I'm conscious of this lady, she didn't even pick up that I was indicating to come out there, so I'm going to watch her. Are these boys doing the left up here? I think they are. I'm going to pull in. Thank you very much, sir. Right, okay, so I'll just have to make a little bit of progress to catch up with everybody. Straight out into lane 3, as safely and as quickly as you can. The speed limit's 40, just creeping over that. Gear for speed for this, just 4th, nice and easy. In fact, on a big boxer, you can whack that in 5th, just rest the engine. Now I know this sounds a bit anal, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to give you a commentary as to why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm trying to refresh me as much as anything else, because it's been a long time since I've had to do textbook riding, if you like. Not that that's what Bikesafe is about. They're not expecting you to be textbook. They just want to see how you normally ride, and then they'll give you an input on that. I'm in a slightly unique position, as I said, as there's a certain expectation on me because I've done all this. So I'm sort of a bit nervous about the feedback, to be honest. Okay, so you look at positioning up here. If you look at any lane that we have, any lane you can split into 3. So position 1 would be right over to the left, which is called the near side. So you'd be right over and to the left, but you've got to be safe about it. You know, you can't be right over on the left and either riding through the gutter and through all the crud and potholes. So you've got to keep that in mind. Likewise, if you were out here, which is position 3, middle will be position 2, this is position 3. Well, I've got my panniers on the back here. A little bit like Gordy up ahead, if you have a look at his police bike. You know, the panniers, the boxes at the back. So I can't sit right over onto that sort of white line there. I have to come in a little bit. See how Gordy's come in like a foot or two, a metre or so in, and we'll cover road positioning for vision once we get sort of off these roads and onto sort of twistier roads really. Right, we're not on the open road, but I've been told to come up ahead, so I'm now in front being observed, so I thought I may as well start it. Okay, so mirrors, we've got the red traffic light up ahead there. Now the bus is indicating right, so for me that suggests there's probably some sort of obstruction up ahead, and he's going to come out into the, he's either turning right or he's going to move out into the middle. He's going to turn right here. So my road positioning, I'm choosing out here at number 3, just because for me that's just a natural place to be at sort of town speeds. I'm scanning all across the top of the vehicles there, looking for anybody that might be stepping out over here on the right, looking for any vehicles that might be coming out, and I'm doing likewise on the left hand side as well. So you're constantly looking up ahead on either side. We've got traffic lights up there, so just check the mirrors, make sure I'm happy with the vehicles behind. Vehicle turning right up ahead there, so again I'm looking, just a little shoulder check there, moving out in a dominant position here on the left. We've got a cyclist up ahead with a junction, but I'm happy with that. Just continuing on ahead here. It's a 30-mile-an-hour limit. I'm currently sat at 30 miles an hour, so there's no need for me to look for any overtakes at the moment. Checking my mirrors, I'm happy. Just moving around to the right there. Again, multiple junctions, but nothing waiting to enter or leave. Lots of parked cars on the left there, so I'm just scanning. There's lots of options. Residential area here, so I'm looking for any vehicles that might want to come out. Again, there's junction there on the left. Now there's a pedestrian just walking towards that crossing, so are they going to come across? No, he's far enough away for me to commit through, and through we go. So again, it's all about visions up ahead here. The junctions are clear, I'm happy with all of that. I'm just checking my mirrors, see what Gordy's up to. I've got red ATS up ahead with brake lights, so mirrors. Now normally, if this was my own ride, I would look at going down the outside there very slowly, but they've now changed to green. So I'll just come up here, keep that junction clear for as long as possible. I can commit through in first. No need to put the feet down. However, it's now changing to red, so mirrors, and we'll just roll to stationary, covering the rear brake and in neutral. Okay, into first. There's a learner on the right there. I'm happy they've committed round, carrying on. Got pedestrian crossing up ahead. Nobody at the moment is looking like they're coming across. No wave from that biker, never mind. Just keep a nice distance behind, so I've got optimum vision up the inside of the bus as we go around this left-hander. So we've got a big marker board up ahead with the roundabout. Check my mirrors, see what Gordy's doing. No indication, so I'm assuming we're going straight ahead. Again, there's a vehicle stationary on the right hand side. I'm just going to move into number 2 position in the road there, just to give myself, and there's a pedestrian. We'll just monitor the rear brake. Okay, so right, so as you can see up there, there's a lane restriction up ahead with these 2 lanes. Now I'm in the right hand lane. Normally that would be fine, but this is a big heavy bus. That was probably the wrong decision by me. I should have stayed in that middle lane. I might be alright, because that bus is going to, hopefully, and I can move across here into this lane. So just letting Gordy through. Now there is a slight right hand bend up here. You know, they would say you'd be in position 1, but I'm not doing that because I'm happy with my speed that I can read the road at this level. I'm going to move to 2 though, and I wouldn't go to 1 because there was an option there on the left as well. 2 just gives me a little bit of space, a sort of safety margin for any oncoming vehicles along here. Got red ATS up ahead. Got no indication from Gordy behind. Both lanes are going straight ahead. However, there's less queue in the right hand, so I'll take that one for me. I'll just come to a close with the rear brake. A close, a stop. Then having a little look in the mirrors, got no indication from Gordy behind, so we're going to go straight on. Now we've got a bus up ahead. This white van is probably going to move across into my lane, which it is. Let's look for anybody that might run out in front of that van. Sorry, in front of the bus, but there's nothing there, so we're happy with that. Got crossing up ahead. It's green ATS at the moment, but brake lights, so mirrors into second. Just giving myself a little bit of space between me and the van up front. Allows you to look up the inside there because you've got an option there on the left. Got a parked car there as well, so we can sit here. I can see that the traffic's clear up ahead. But again, you know, just under 30 mile an hour there just gives me that extra time. So checking the mirrors because we've got options up ahead. There's no sign from Gordy, so I'm happy to carry on. I can move into lane 1 here. The bus will commit round, the van will commit round before I'm past it. We'll carry on. Just a little shoulder check as the two lanes merge, and that's us back into a nice dominant position 3. Pedestrian waiting to cross, but making no signs that they're going to go, and it's green for me, so straight on. Happy with my speed. I'm just keeping along with the Joneses here. I'm not doing 30, but there's no point in me trying to go faster, because you know, what's the point? There's so many options everywhere. Speed camera on the left, so currently at 30 miles an hour. Green ATS up ahead, pedestrian crossing, no pedestrians waiting to cross, happy days, and there's junctions, bus stops, lots of options along here. I'll just apply a little bit of brakes, waiting for the late arrival from the right, which there wasn't, but now we have stationary vehicles, so mirrors, stop well short, just coast up, second gear's fine, just wait and see if that, okay, so they're waiting to let them out. Okay, see that vehicle there, that flashed the red car to come out the junction. Now I'd have been perfectly within my rights, according to the highway code, to carry straight on. But if you're waiting at a junction and someone flashes you to come out, you know, a lot of people will just take that as a good in that, okay, I'm safe to come out, so they'll just pull out without checking. So I erred on the side of caution there and let them out. Again, check your mirrors before you do stop, because obviously if you've got heavy coming up behind you, it might be beneficial for you to keep going. What's this sign? So it's speed change into 40 miles an hour. So check up the mirrors, firm up the drive up to 40 miles an hour. Now it's a descent up ahead, but there's an option on the left, so I don't want to go fully over into position 1, and there's another option here. So I'll stay in position 2. Now I'll move over so to a sort of position 3 here. I'm conscious oncoming vehicles to me, they might cut the corner, and I've got my panniers as well, so I don't want to be encroaching on oncoming lane with my panniers. So I've got signs for right hand bend and then traffic lights behind, so checking my mirrors, and I'm just going to drop it into 3rd gear, move over into position 1. I've got red ATS, so I'll just move across into the ahead lane. And that is us. Now again, do the engine shuffle, whack her into neutral. Checking my mirrors all the time, looking for any vehicles that might come shooting up my arm. Over the right hand shoulder, move off. So I can just move straight into position 1 here, because we've got a right hand bend up ahead with a 40 mile an hour speed limit. Now we're going to move into a left hand bend. I can't go fully to the number 3 there because there was a cyclist coming up the hill. So I don't want to be right out over on the sort of centre line, because some vehicles will move over into my lane to get by that cyclist. So a staggered junction option on the right, that's clear. I'm going to stick in number 2 here though, position 2, because there is an option on the left there. Once we're past that, I can move over into position 1 for this right hand bend, but there is a hidden junction on the left there, so I'll move into position 2. We've got nationals coming up here, so we do the 3-way mirror check, left, straight ahead and right. We form up the drive, up to your nationals, out to position 3, move that across to position 1 for the right hand sweeper, just keeping my speed at the nationals at 60, move across into position 3, watching the limit point, I'm happy with my speed, coming up to a roundabout, into my mirrors, into 3rd. Now I've got vehicles coming ahead, what are they doing? I'm happy with that, I'm committed, so I'll move through. So Gordy's telling us to go in here, over the shoulder check. Oh, I think we might be having a debrief. Oh, moment of truth. Now this is something coppers do. They like to do this. They get off the bike and they push it. I don't do that. This is where I drop it. Let's see what he says. Be gentle.
Alright, so we'll start with you, John. How was it for you? A bit nervous at first.
Give us your licence.
I know, it's all good. What about you, Bruce, then? So,
I think it was alright.
all good, like you sold yourself on your mirror checks. I just thought, because I had to nitpick a little bit with you, because obviously that training power piece has stayed with you.
Yeah.
Maybe too much mirrors, if that makes sense.
Right.
There's a little bit of doing this quite a bit rather than...
I do use my mirrors all the time anyway.
All good stuff, good road position, and then if you got a bit close to a car in front, because conditions you were more to the offside of the car in front, if it's safe for you to do. Good mirrors, good lifesavers, getting up speed, good follow positions. Oh, it's Charlie Brown roundabout, looking for that lane of least resistance, but what was in there was a double decker, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that when you got behind and we had a pedestrian control So yeah, you did the right, you filled that gap, but then you've lost that vision. But cars coming from your offside,
Yeah.
you think, is the bus going to go? You don't know. So
Yeah.
it's hit and miss, but went through that, and then you've gotten through to the left because obviously you knew where we were going. Saw good mirrors before, so when we do change the speed limits, it's a mirror check before. Okay, so that was very good. Straight into position one, even though you got those big side saddle bolts on. Right round there, good gears, good acceleration round there. Really no problems there. It stays about safety, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've had no moments yet.
Actually, she wasn't a young kid. Do apologise, madam. Can't believe you did that, Chops. Jesus. National! I'll probably get a bollocking for that. Happy with that. Read the limit point, all is good. Just form up the drive. Okay, paintwork, whoa, heavy, what is he doing?
You've got to worry about a third talking to, I'm not going to be happy.